Welcome to the live stream. Let's make sure we have audio. It looks good. Sorry, I forgot to set one thing up. And so welcome to the live stream. It seems like there's a few people already in the chat. And so let's do some saying hi here. Let's go back here. Grish was in here early tonight. It's good to have you, Grish. It looks like you are here now as well. Hank, as always, it's good to see you, and I'm glad you're here with us tonight. Juris, Gary, thanks for joining me. Appreciate you being here as well. Axel needs to say hi and greet everybody here. Already critiquing the thumbnail. Thank you for your unbiased critique of my thumbnail. I will work on that. And so those are the guys in the chat tonight. And also it looks like Adam Tao is with us tonight. He is, again, a special guest because we are going to be talking about the USB view in MixEffect. That's our main topic tonight. And we're going to get to that here in just a few minutes, but it's great to have Adam with us tonight. So I wanted to give you guys just a greeting and say hi. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. It helps the algorithm. Also, I did a poll, and it's up right now, so please answer the poll in the chat. It says, are you using MixEffect on an iPad or iPhone now? It looks like right now we've had 8 votes, 75% no, and 25% yes. So Adam's here. He's seeing the percentage of my viewers so far tonight. We will watch this and see how that poll plays out. I didn't answer it, so I would shift it a little bit because I do use MixEffect, and I've been planning on talking about this topic for a while, but I can't use this feature. And we'll talk about why later in my original iPad that I use all the time for MixEffect. I'll unplug the power here. So I use this iPad. It's a Lightning iPad. And so this will not do the new USB view. And so I have not talked about this because I can't demo it. But tonight I am privileged to have my wife's iPad 13-inch M4 Pro right here. And so we're going to use this tonight and test out some features. And I should be able to demo for you this exciting new feature. Let's just make sure that I have MixEffect open here right now. So we will talk about that in a little bit, and I'm excited to have Adam Tao here. We will hit record right now. Thank you for that, Hank, for that reminder. Most of the time, I just use YouTube uses the video from the live stream tonight, and it's up on YouTube, but it's nice to have a recording in studio in case I need to cut anything from it. I'll look at my settings. I usually leave this set to only record the program. So let me just double check what my settings are tonight. Yeah, and I have ISO recording turned off. So I'm only recording the program. And you can see, let's change this multi-view from my ATEM Mini Pro to my Extreme ISO. There you go. And we're on the air and we are recording. So I could actually switch between my ATEM Mini Pro so I could show it to some of my clients as well as switch over here to Multiview. So I could be in this view talking about a Multiview without having to do a picture-in-picture if I'm demoing the ATEM or doing super source if I'm demoing the Extreme ISO, which also super source is available in the Extreme and the SDI models. So thank you again, Hank, and for that reminder to hit record. So many of you guys know I was live from Las Vegas last week. So if you haven't watched last week's video, I was in a client of mine's home, his home studio. He has 2 businesses. His name is Jason Kranitz. He was on that live stream with us the last 2 weeks. He was in the chat and the week prior to last week's live stream, but we were in his studio, and he has Major League Fab, which is a training site where he teaches people to do different things, branding using his lasers. And the video that we did with him was live on Wednesday night, and there's a link in the description if you'd like to watch that, where I produced his live stream. It was his first ever live stream, so we had to work on the studio on Tuesday all day to get ready for mine. Then we augmented things to get ready for his on Wednesday. Then we worked all day Thursday on his cameras and just some other training, and it was an absolute privilege to be invited to Jason's home in Las Vegas and join him. Now, he used to have a storefront in Oregon where he did installs for audio for all kinds of street bikes, as well as high-end classic cars and cars in general, and was a speaker in many of those type of events where trade shows involve sound for vehicles. And he does a live stream at those shows, or live presentations at those shows, started out using an ATEM Mini Pro, and then now he's going to have, I believe, an extreme ISO at his shows. And so I met him through my ATEM Mini Pro Getting Started video, and I offer a free 1-hour consult just to try to help people out, and I help lots of people in that 1 hour. And then I have programs people want to continue on getting consulting and training. And that's a lot of reasons why I have all the things in my studio, and another reason why I use MixEffect to be able to give them a recommendation for a tool that could make things easier for them after they get that set up. And I used MixEffect on a iPad as I was walking around live last Tuesday night, so I could go with Jason to different locations and I could switch right from MixEffect. So I set up all my macros for being in his studio, controlling his ATEM Extreme ISO, and it was a lot of fun. So if you'd like to see Jason's studio, or you'd like to see that video with me actually using MixEffect, switching as I walked around, then that video is available for you from last Tuesday night's live stream. Also, on Wednesday night, again, we did a live stream for his channel, and he went into 2 of the other locations. He has a main studio upstairs and 2 studios downstairs, and those studios downstairs are a fab room and a work room where he can do all kinds of projects, putting things together, and then he can also show all kinds of things going on inside his bay where he works on motorcycles and vehicles. And then he can also has a mobile rig. And so lots of fun being in Las Vegas. And I will share some pictures later for those of you who want to stay with me and see just a couple more photographs from Las Vegas and get an idea of more of what we were doing, why we were there. So let's go Skycam off the air and fix one thing here right now. Cool. So thank you for joining me. Let's see who else is popped in here. Let's go like this. Put chat back on the air. Let me say hi to DJ Ware. Thanks for joining me. We may have some more people jump in as tonight progresses, but I do want to jump into tonight's topic because we have the incredible privilege of having Adam Tao with us. You'll be able to ask him questions in the chat. I will try to answer the questions that I've discovered. I'm going to demo this USB view both from my ATEM Mini Pro as well as my Extreme ISO. I'm going to talk about the cables that I'm using, the cables that Adam Tao recommends. I have some links in the description to take you to some of the pages that you can learn more from Adam's site, and also a link so you could go find the app if you want to install it. It's only a $50 investment. And if you have an iPad, you can also use it on your iPhone, which mine dropped to the floor here. So we'll bring this up and change this over to MixEffect on my phone. and I will close YouTube for right now. So I even have it on my phone, though you can't use this feature of USB view on the phone. That may change in the future, but there's some exciting things about why I think it's a great feature. And we're going to talk about why here in just a minute. So any other questions or anything you guys have about my trip to Las Vegas, hold those to the very end. I would love to get any feedback. I know Tony from Quick Tech Solutions says he's going to try to jump on later in tonight's video. That is great. And if you're watching this after it was live, thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope you will hit the like button, as well as maybe hit the bell and get notifications turned on so you'll be alerted when we go live next, which is Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I try to upload videos periodically. The last video I uploaded on my YouTube channel is a studio tour. And here it's a little over a half hour long. I take you through my studio from walking down the hallway to my wife's room next door. I do a little cameo shot in her dollhouse room. And then we come in here and I give you a tour of this studio. So if you haven't seen that video, it is here on the channel as well. Adam's chiming in here, says, unfortunately, external camera support USB view is not something that Apple supports on iOS 18. Hopefully they will bring it in iOS 19. So again, the couple things I want to say about USB view as well, you need to update MixEffect. If you download it now, you'll be perfectly fine. You'll have the latest version. But if you're not updating that on a regular basis, and it looks like as of right now, we have 33% of you who own it. So those of you, 33% plus B, make sure you update it and get your iPads updated to the newest iOS. Then you won't have any issues with being able to bring in the web view into your iPad. The other thing is you need to make sure your iPad has a USB-C port. Lightning is not currently supported, and that's why I've not been able to really chime in and show you guys that app, because I haven't had an iPad until recently that has a USB-C port, and now I have, again, I'm borrowing my wife's tonight so I can use that. So let me pop out chat here and bring it over to my prompter right now so I can see the chat as I talk to you guys. Let's close this poll. So please answer the poll if you have not answered it yet. And again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. So looks like that's who we have in the chat tonight. So I want to hop over and do a little switching here in my software. Let's see. Change cameras here so you guys will be able to see my desk. I'm using my Skycam tonight, and I like to show different parts of my studio. So let's find the right view here. Okay, let me close this. Turn this camera on. Okay, let's pick the right view here. Okay, let's start out a little bit because we're going to go through some hooking up here. Move my notes over here to the other side of my desk, about right there. Let's turn on my wireless go. And you guys are seeing this because I have a chat on the air. I apologize for that. So now I think we're all ready to go here. Move this microphone over there. It is muted. You guys should still be hearing me on my wireless mic. And then let's find the macro here. Cool. So here you have a shot of my desk, and here is the iPad 13-inch Pro, and I have a couple ways I have this hooked up. So the way you're going to use USB view is that you're actually going to come out of the back of your ATEM. Let's see, what are we saying here? Let's listen to the audio. Check. Okay, cool. Let me know if the hum comes back. You never know with the ATEM. Got my drink right here. Okay, so currently I am coming out USB-C to USB-A, and this is one of the things you got to kind of trick the iPad in which direction you're sending a webcam. So if you just came out USB-C into your iPad, according to ATEM, that does not work, even if you flip it either way. And sometimes, believe it or not, the USB-C cable could be turned one way or the other. And if you watch the video I linked below, ATEM talks about that in his video when he talked about USB Multiview able to be displayed after the 9.5 firmware update. But the ability to bring Multiview into the iPad through the MixEffect app has been around for a while. There's a lot of other steps you would have to do without this new 9.5 update, and that's what we're going to focus on tonight. There's plenty of videos on ATEM's site to talk about the other ways to bring in Multiview. You can bring it in through Video Ninja, and I'll show you guys that plug-in that's right inside MixEffects. So, and then you would put in the URL for Video Ninja. You'd have to get the signal Multiview into Video Ninja, and then it would send it through the Wild West of the internet, and then you would use that IP address to bring it in to your iPad. And as ATEM and I were texting back and forth today, that should work untethered. Right now, we're going to be tethered. So I have the adapter that actually came with my prompter. Let me just cut to my camera here just for a second. So this is the adapter that came with my prompter. It goes from USB-A 3.0 to USB-C. And so all I did was take my USB-C cable that I normally plug into my laptop to use the webcam in for Zoom, and I could use it for OBS. I could use it for other software. So bringing my ATEM program into my computer. Now I could bring in Multiview. I could bring in any of the channels. That's all been changed in the 9.5 update. And we'll take a look at that in the software a little bit later if you haven't seen that yet. Definitely want to do that. But Video Ninja is a plugin for OBS. The last time I used it, so I don't know anything about it now, is when I had brought Adam Tao into my live stream, and we used Video Ninja that night. And there were some hiccups, but I'm sure they've made lots of updates. I think they've changed the name. But anyway, that would be a way to bring webcam into your Mac or your PC, and then use Video Ninja to send it out into the Wild West of the internet. And then with that IP address, you could then bring it in through one of the browsers built into MixEffects, and I'll show you guys that in a second. So to get it to work from my USB-C out, number 2 in my ATEM Extreme ISO, I come out USB-C to USB-A, I convert this with this adapter, and then this side plugs into MixEffects. So we're going to do that now. So back to Super Source. So here it is. I didn't do any magic tricks to change it while I was off the air for a second. And the reason I use this adapter is the other way you can do it. Here's another cable, and this is recommended on ATEM's site, both that way and this way, right here, the way I already showed you. But this is taking a USB-C to USB-C cable, then I'm taking a USB-C to USB-A adapter, and I got the higher end version, the blue inside. Plug that on, then you adapt it down from USB-A to USB-A to USB-C, but this would not fit inside my new cover. So even though I bought this intending to show exactly how Adam recommended it, this would not fit in there. Now, if I pull just part of the cover off, which I do not want to do when I'm out doing a shoot, I want to keep this protected. If I pull this off and then plug this in, then it does plug all the way in. And I will show you guys in a little bit, this flipped on me, that works as well. But I was able to unmuddy this by using this adapter that came with my prompter. And I could order one of these as well, and I will. So let me pop the case all the way back on here. And I really like this case. I don't have a link in the description, but I love the cover. And so I took the case that was on the iPad Pro 13-inch and replaced it with this new case that doesn't have a keyboard, where Shannon's mom, who we inherited the iPad from, had a keyboard, and it was big and heavy, and I wanted to be able to just take this when I use it for remote shoots. I want to be able to take it with just this kind of case on it. So now, we're going to take this and plug it in, and see, let's go down just a little bit. And it does fit inside of my case. We'll pop this up here again. I can't put chat on the air right now, Adam, but Adam is saying, I do recommend using a USB-C hub because you get power, Ethernet, more reliable connection, and a USB connection with the ATEM. Yeah, and one of the links I have below, Adam has in that document links to things that he recommends, including the USB hub. And so I am going to order the hub that Adam recommends, and I'm going to plug it in to the iPad Pro 13-inch, and I'm going to try using the HDMI out to bring it into my program in my ATEM. I'm also going to plug in power, and then the USB hub that Adam recommends actually has USB ports in it. So I don't know if you could plug in another webcam as well. Who knows? Maybe I could plug in my ATEM Extreme and an ATEM Mini at the same time, and then I'll show you where you switch for that. So you notice that I plugged this in and nothing's happened yet. And that's because you have to add some things to this main page. So this is my main page. You can see I'm recording. So we are going to demo this, and camera angles are going to change, but I want you guys to see how this works. And then when we get into ATEM Mini Pro, I'll be able to tap on some things without changing tonight's live stream. So what we're going to do up here is I'm going to go up here to edit. And that's in the top right section right here. And let's go into a tighter shot now. Let's see what we have here. There's a tighter shot. And so right up here, I'll tap out of that again. Right above this transition bar, there's a little icon there. And it says I can edit pages, and you can change the name of these and add as many pages as you want, which is pretty important because those could have exactly what you want to use. And there's multiple different ways that you can switch from Multiview, and we're going to talk about those, but let's start with why you guys saw in the thumbnail that we are going to talk about the USB view. So we're going to edit the page, and then I want to do this top section right here, and you can see I have the left section, the right section, the bottom section, and the sidebar, and all of these things are available, but I want to put it in this section right here. So I'm going to click on Add Panel to Top. And if I scroll all the way to the bottom of this list, you're going to see USB View. You can also come up here and see Remote Web View. That's how you bring Video Ninja in. And then Multiview Switcher. And we're going to talk about that before the night's out. So hang tight. So you can use those other two features in different ways. In fact, the last one, which is Multiview Switcher, you can use without having anything plugged in like a USB-C cable or any of that stuff, or and you can switch using that, and you can bring in still images to represent what camera angles you have, and Adam has instructions on his site to do that. But I love the fact that with 9.5, the update, we can bring in Multiview right into our live streams. And remember, you're going to have to go into your ATEM Extreme ISO or your Pro, whatever you're using, and you're going to have to set the USB C port to Multiview out in order to bring Multiview in to your iPad in MixEffect. Okay, so enough talking about that. Let's go down here and hit USB view. I'm going to add it. It's been added now. It's popped up behind. And now you can see that I have tonight's live stream in here. I am recording. There is my bit rate. There is the super source. It's also live. There is the other camera waiting to go live. Then I have my media player 1. I have my media player 2, which is the background for super source right now. Then below that, as you go across here, I've got camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, my extreme out, which I do not have anything coming in right now from my extreme. I could put multi-view right there if I wanted to. And then I have my laptop. What's on my laptop? I have what you guys are seeing, which is my web camera that comes in over my desk, and I bring that in through OBS by full screen displaying it to that box in the ATEM, which is basically input number 6. And then I have my Hyperdeck that played my intro tonight, and it is now stopped on the logo. And then next to that, I have the web out. So this is really important for me to put it here because now I am changing what I bring into Zoom from my ATEM Extreme. Also, I want to bring Multiview into tonight's live stream so I can show you the Multiview. So this shows you that my webcam out has been set to Multiview. Now I can go in the software right now, which I'm going to do. And just so you guys will know this is really happening in real time, let's find a mouse closer to my desk over here. Okay. That mouse is not working. This mouse is. That's why I always have 2. We're going to go into the web out and change it to my main camera and watch what happens right here. Sure enough, I can send my main camera to here as well because I can send whatever I want now. Camera 1, I can send my other camera right here. I can change that web out to, and I want you guys to see, it's all of these. I could even put my Hyperdeck on there and hit play, and you can see that that is moving. So I can change the webcam, so you're going to want to go in and switch it to Multiview, and then Multiview comes in. So now what can you do with this? If you notice on the bottom, and Adam says, yes, any webcam that supports UVC. So the question was, will this work with any webcam? And so, yeah, do your research UVC because that's also something that's applied to the new Rodecaster video. It only receives certain webcams, so make sure that you understand what kind of webcam you need to be bringing in. And I believe that UVC, Adam, correct me if I'm not wrong, I think it's uncompressed. And so it takes uncompressed to come in from your ATEM to this work. You need a webcam that's uncompressed. I think the original Logitech 920C is uncompressed, if I remember right. I think also the cameras by the face cam, I believe, is uncompressed. I have one up here, so we'll try it here. Let me bring it out so I don't forget, but we'll actually play with this tonight and see if it works. Okay, so looking at this again, if you look at the very bottom, you have to go in here when you first hook it up and choose camera. So you could actually have a hub with more than one camera coming in here. And I believe you could have more than one ATEM coming in here because it's just gonna see it as a webcam. So Adam designed this so you could choose a camera. I only have one choice, Blackmagic designed. If I went up here, it disconnects because I haven't chosen a camera. But if I click on here, I have. And then right here is a little 1. And if I click on this, watch the screen. See how these overlays pop on if I turn it off? It's just the normal writing on my Multiview. So This way, it's just Multiview coming into my iPad, and I can do the switching up here. But Adam also tricked this out. Good job, Adam, by the way. Appears to be just under a second of delay. Oh, Joe is here. Hi, Joe. So yeah, you guys are watching my hands. So let's see. I'll see if I can move. Where's it at? This hand and this hand at the same time. Here we go. Yeah, about 1 second delay. Thank you, Joe, for chiming in. Always great to have your input. So if I hit the button again, the overlays come on. Now check this out. Let's say I wanted to switch from that view to that view, and I don't want to touch this bar. I can touch the bar, and you can see I can switch. But what would happen if I was to double tap right here? It does a regular transition. Double tap again. You can't see my finger, but yeah, so what if I wanted something else in preview mode that I want to switch to something else? Like, let's say I want to switch to this camera. I just tapped one time and it switched. I wonder what will happen if I was to tap again here, double tap, makes a transition, double tap again, it transitions back. But what would happen if I was to double tap on my EOS R right here? It automatically switches when I double tap. So I could be walking around double tapping whatever input I have, and it will come up live. So let's double tap on Super Source, and it comes up live, just quickly changing. Or you can see I have me in preview and me and MixEffect on the iPad in the live view. So I'll just tap here and it makes a fast transition. Tap again, it makes another cut. We'll call it fast transition. But if I double tap, it makes a nice dissolve. So I have to say, Adam, Tao, this is really cool, but it does not stop there. I learned today, watching one of the videos I linked before, right before 9.5 update came out by Blackmagic Design Software Control, which when you update your software control, occasionally it has a firmware update for your ATEMs. So you always got to check that. And I've showed how you do that before on the channel. So if someone needs a demo of that, let me know later. But once you update the software control and then you open up your ATEM in the connections page, you'll see a window that pops up saying you need to update it. Once you update the firmware, it enabled all these extra features. And that was when Adam Tao updated other things inside MixEffect. Like you can make some other changes that weren't available earlier, like being able to go in and change the outputs, like output 1, output 2, which are the two HDMIs out of an extreme ISO, or output 1, which is the one HDMI out of the ATEM Mini Pro ISO, Mini SDI ISO, and the webcam out, which is the USB-C out of the ATEM Mini Pro ISO, SDI ISO, and then there are two USBs out of the Extreme ISO as well as Extreme SDI ISO. So you'd use one, right, for a SD drive to record, or going into possibly some kind of hub with two SD cards so they could automatically flip over. But then you'd use USB-C out too to be able to plug in a webcam into your laptop or your Macintosh or into this app. So a couple more things I want to show here. So let's double tap on Super Source. So if I hold down on camera 1, hold down my finger, or if you have a mouse hooked up, you would just click on this with the mouse, I think. Let me know for sure, Adam. No processing of the image. So it must talk to Blackmagic device to understand multi-view layout, then corresponds to image location on the iPad. Very, very clever. Yeah, so in reality, Adam just has an overlay that goes over top. So in reality, this is just a layer. So I can turn the layer off. It's off, and now the layer's on. And then when you tap on those layers, that does all these tricks Again, thanks to ATEM. So let me hold my finger down. Then this menu comes up. Now, I don't quite understand this menu, ATEM. It's a little confusing to me. It says, that's my Mark IV, which is the item. And then it says preview or program. I'm assuming that that can assign it to preview or program. So let's try it. So right now, this camera is already in preview. So let me type it in here. There we go. So now I figured it out. So if I wanted to just tap on this and hold it and make this camera in the program, there you go. This camera is in the program. My light needs to be changed to make this view look right, but that is a great little thing. So if I was then to hold my finger over Super Source, Super Source gives me all kinds of different options. So we're going to look at that here real quickly. So let me close that. Let me double tap and bring that in. And now let me hold my finger down. And now you have a plethora of options. So what does it say? It says Super Source, preview program, so you can assign it there. Wow, there's a lot of choices here. And I can't even, two vertical fill. So these must be presets, ATEM, to be able to control Super Source. And I don't want to click on any of these tonight. So let me close that. So obviously if I hold down the EOS R, 3 options come up. Hold down camera 3, which is an extreme input. 3 options show up, or 2 options show up. Hold down my laptop input. 2 options show up. Hold down my desktop input, which is my desktop PC coming into my ATEM. And again, that's in channel 6. This is channel 5. That's got 2 options. Hold that down again. Make that window disappear. It's not disappearing. Just tap on it. It disappeared. I'm going to hold down my HyperDeck. And again, 2 options show up. So again, I could put it in the program right now. And now you guys have my intro video. And then I can double tap on me again. Now I'm in the view, and I could double tap on MixEffect or Super Source again, and then it will pop up. So really cool. So I want to put camera 2 inside preview. And then now I could just double tap to get the nice transition. The bar is going to go up and down. And I'm sure, ATEM, I can change the timing on the transition, which I'm going to tap on the front of my ATEM and do it. So if I double tap, does a normal transition. I'm going to go to 2 seconds on the front of my ATEM. I'm going to double tap again. And yeah, now you have the full 2-second transition. I'll change it to ½ a second, double tap again. And now we have a ½ a second transition. So I'm sure that those settings are in here somewhere. So if you wanted to change the transition speed, then you could add other pages. And again, as I go down here, you can see it just inserted this, and I could bring this to the top. I can set where I want to. That's all done in the settings as you lay out the pages. But you can see I have the different pages in here, different layouts for Super Source, though I haven't set up any new ones tonight to be able to tap to. I have the Super Source boxes. I have my macros, which I use all the time on my other iPad. And then down here, you can see I have output 1, and then I have sources. So I only have output 1 here, and I could change what source it's going to right now. Right now, I'm using output 1 to show multi-view, so I can see the multi-view here in my studio. So, okay, we're gonna go back up to the top and stop right here. And then we are going to, actually, let's change back to this camera view. And let me make a quick change here. So I can bring chat back on the air. And let's just go down here. So ATEM said earlier, if you have an extreme and you're using both USB-C ports, one to the computer and one to the SSD drive, you can use an HDMI USB-C adapter from one of the 2 aux ports into line to the MixEffect. So yeah, you're converting the HDMI to a webcam. And again, that information is on Adam's page. Again, that's linked below. So go check that out. Download the app if you haven't already. But yeah, so you could come in that way, not using your webcam out or your USB 2 out. If you needed to use both of them for 2 discs, Adam's telling you that you could dedicate one of your HDMIs out because the ATEM Extreme ISO, ATEM Extreme SDI ISO, they all have 2 or 4, because the SDI version has 4 outputs, and they would have to be converted. So you'd have to get one of those Blackmagic Designs bi-directional converters, or a converter going from SDI to HDMI, and then do the conversion that Adam is talking about here. So keep that in mind. If you want 4 outputs, you could get an SDI version and convert them, and you would have the ability to send 4 different outputs to 4 different places. Plus, you have the webcam too. So in reality, you have 5 different things that you could send 5 different directions. And because of Adam, I could be using this MixEffect as my multi-view, right? So I can use this as multi-view, so I could then send one of my HDMI outs to a projector in a live event and send what I want there, like send the hyperdeck or send PowerPoint notes, whatever needs to be sent there, and I would have multi-view right here. So I could gain back one of my HDMI outs just by having the iPad and the USB port plugged in here. And so thank you, Adam, for solving one of my primary issues. And that means when I'm live, I would like to be able to not use one of my HDMI outs for multi-view. I would rather have it on the iPad using the webcam out, and then I could use HDMI 1 and HDMI 2 to go to 2 other monitors in a room. So, and that opens up a whole bunch of things for me. Like if I do an event where we need to have notes at the back of the room and in front of the room, I could split it, but I could put something separate in the back of the room, like churches all the time, and I help them do installs. So they could use an iPad for their multi-view, and they could have one go to the lobby that's running a hyperdeck loop, and they could have another one go to their front and back monitors to show songs or play a video clip from another hyperdeck. It just opens up a bunch of things, so I don't have to tell them to buy the SDI model. But again, for long runs, the SDI model makes a lot of sense because you don't have the limitations that you have with HDMI. So Adam said that. Let's go back through here. He also said this. There's probably other things Adam said here. We want to catch all of these. So let me get in my other multi-view here so I can look into the camera while I do this. Yes, assign preview. Okay. Yes, assign preview and program. So yes, assign preview and program depending on, that's talking about the boxes in the multi-view with the overlay on. If you hold and press, the cameras are going to give you an option to send it to preview or program depending on what box you long press on. Different things appear. If you have Super Source, it will show you a list of presets. So Adam is saying that that particular view, Super Source still live here. It will be here in a second. That didn't work. Let me turn chat off the air. Try this one more time here. Okay, so if I long press right here on, oh wait, that's not Super Source. Turn that off. Long press on Super Source. Adam's saying it gives you the list right here of presets. So those presets are built into MixEffect. I'm sure that you could probably change those. I don't know. Let's click on the box up here. That scares me. That looks like a box of 4. So I'm not, while I'm live, I'm not going to push on any of those. Let's hold this down and see if it goes away. It does go away. So that answers that question. That's awesome. let me tap back on me here. You wonder what I'm doing? I'm actually changing so I can bring chat on the air because I'm using OBS for the downward camera. That's one input, and then I got to turn that off, and I'm using OBS as well to bring in the overhead camera as well as the chat on the air. So let's go back into the chat here. Adam, question. Any idea, Adam, why the delay is there in MixEffect? It was webcam. I'd imagine it would be near real time. So let's see. It's real time when you are connected to the ATEM. I think it's the stream that caused the delay. Who knows? But definitely there's a delay between my main camera and the downward camera. And again, I'm using a webcam, so my downward camera is probably affecting the speed. So if I was using probably one of my EOS Rs to shoot down, Tony, that probably would not be an issue. So please don't not use this app because you're seeing some delay, because I think that's just you guys are seeing the delay on my Insta360 Link, which is my downward camera. Okay. Adam, this doubles the value of your app. I hope you increase the price. Well, Adam has never increased the price. He and I've chatted about having upgrades. He has a new link on Apple to get the free version. I don't think everything's enabled in the free version. Then you buy the pro version, but the pro version, I believe, is the same price. Adam, would you please put the prices in the chat? If there's any difference between the version I bought, that I think was just a few pennies under 50 bucks. And I know you continue to do updates, and we really, really, really appreciate it. Keeping it up to date with all the firmware updates as well, and also all the work that you do on all the different consoles. So again, this is not going to, so let's see, show up with an ATEM and an iPad, no monitor needed. So cool. Yeah. So yeah, I probably will still bring my extra monitor when I do some of these events that I've been doing. But it's so much nicer to go to a client to help him, show him how to do a live stream the very first time. And I show up with my iPad, my wife's iPad, my iPad. And then I also show up with an Extreme, or if I'm showing them how to do it with an ATEM, and then I could use all that to show them how they could do the same thing too and not need a monitor. So that's crazy cool. Stephen James, it is great to have you. Adam, you have a recommendation for a reliable HDMI to USB adapter. Let's see, does Adam answer this down here? No difference. Okay, so Adam, there is a question in here. Do you have a recommendation for reliable HDMI to USB adapter? And I know that that's on Adam's web page here. Let's go here and look. And do I dare switch my multi-view? Yeah, I made a macro. So let's do this. So here's one of the links I have in the description, external camera support. So if you scroll down here on Adam's page, he talks about exporting multi-view out from your ATEM, all the different ways of doing that, SDI conversion, how you would do that. Then when you get down here, I believe to the bottom, he has recommended HDMI to USB adapters and USB-C hubs. And I clicked on this hub. I hope those are Amazon associate links, Adam. And this is the one it looks like I'm going to get. I think Adam said he's using an older version of this, but this is what came up. So I'm going to try this one. I'm ordering it in the morning or tonight. I haven't decided yet, but that's pretty cool that Adam has these document pages with all this help on them. So really good document. So again, this is the support page for MixEffect, and Adam's updating this all the time. So again, I applaud Adam. Those of you that know me, have been on my channel for a long time, I'm a super fan of Adam and his app and what he's able to do. And again, it was motivated by him doing events, wanting to have more intuitive control, not trying to fiddle around with software control and mouse around all the time. And so Adam started designing this app back in the ATEM Mini Pro era, I believe, or ISO, I don't remember, but Adam can put that in the chat. So let's go back to me here, and let's continue. Is chat probably still on the air? Yep. So thank you for joining us, Stephen James. I think I answered that question. Gary, recommended iPad or latest, not the latest version, and 100. So again, I'll tell you my recommendation. I would get as much memory as you can get, because on this iPad right here, I can't even do the latest update because I don't have enough room. It takes like 6.58 gigabytes, and I have been working to try to update this. It's a hassle every time. This is an older iPad version 6 that only has Lightning input, so I can't use this new USB-C input, but I could use the Multiview, which we're going to show here in a minute. But I would get it with way more memory than I have. So could you get by with 128? Most likely. And you want to get a iPad that has USB-C ports in it. That's the number one thing. You want to make sure it's got iOS 17 or newer in it. So just update it to the new iOS, as well as making sure that you've updated your ATEM to the newest firmware, which I think is 9.5.1. I think they had to fix a bug from 9.5. But again, you can go to Blackmagic site to look at the latest software control, and the latest software control will have the latest firmware update in it if you're ever confused. And so if you already updated your firmware and you update the software control, you won't get an alert in the connection screen that you've got to do an update. And I better show you guys this right now, being as we're talking about it. And let me bring this over. We're going to go into my extreme number 2. And you would go to connections, and then you would hit ATEM setup right here, and it would give you an alert once you click this button right here. So this is my extreme number 1. We will click on my extreme number 2, and if I clicked on this and I needed a firmware update, you wouldn't get this page. You would get a you need to update your firmware, and that's how you do that particular version of that. So again, let's go back. Looking at my super source. Let's finish the chat here. So let's go back to trying to force myself to use MixEffect's tapping tonight to change cameras. I think chat is still on the air, so we'll take that off. So again, 128, something with a USB-C would be fine. You know, whatever you can afford, buy the most recent iPad or find one used. I plan on replacing my original iPad as soon as possible. This one fell on our lap because Shannon's mother passed away, and all the family got a chance to meet together, and they discussed what they wanted, and this is one of the things that Shannon and I wanted, and so we have it, and bless Mom's heart, she had just purchased it. And her and I talked about it, and I said, do you want the latest and greatest, or you just want to update? She goes, I want the latest and greatest. So Mom bought the latest and greatest M4 iPad Pro 13-inch, and she was absolutely loving it until she passed away in November, and bless her heart, she is walking on streets of gold, I believe with all my heart. So hi, Mom, if you're listening. So can you go full screen Multiview? Adam can answer that. I do not know. No ability to do full screen yet. you can hide the slider maybe in the future. Oh, there you go, Adam. More work for you. If that doubles the value of your app, I wonder what full screen multi-view on the iPad 13 Pro would do. Then I really do need a monitor. Okay. Sorry, Joe. I guess you're going to have to slip some notes to Adam off camera. Maybe you can pay for an upgrade. Long press on media player, audio, recording, and stream to see what happens. Oh, okay. We'll do that here in a second. Remind me, can MixEffect change multi-view layouts? No difference between free download. Okay, so can MixEffect change multi-view layouts? We should talk about that. So let's turn chat off the air. Let's go over here and re-enable my camera. And center it here, nice and pretty. How does that look? Change, let's see, where am I? Me and desk view should be right. There we go. Let's center that. Okay, so let me see if I remember where that's at. I'm gonna think, is it settings, Adam? Source labels, multi-view. There we go. So these are the layouts I believe that Adam has set up in here. So correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, in the chat, but I believe I can do any one of these layouts. But I don't know if this is where you go to cover up multi-view inside the USB view. So let me know. This is a question I don't have the answer to, so it's a great reason why I absolutely love having Adam on here. So let's go back to switcher view. And a long press on audio. So video follows audio, so that's really cool. So you can turn that on. And what that is that if you have microphones on your different cameras, which is what I would recommend now, if you're doing a podcast, find a way to feed into the camera, even though the preamps aren't the best. So you may want to buy some newer cameras that have really good preamps. But once you have audio on the camera, then you can have video follow audio. I think that's the only way to do it, Adam. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you want to automatically switch. So if I was talking, then the guest starts talking, that would automatically switch to that camera that I have on the guest. Then if I have a wide shot, I think, Adam, you can set that up to just occasionally go to that. I don't know. I've never used those features, but that was available when you click on the audio screen. Now we're going to click on, let's see, what else did you say to click on? What did you say here? Where is it? Media player. Oh, you can load different images. That's cool. Way to go, Adam. Stock goes up one more time. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Good job. What was the other thing you said to click on here? Media player, audio, recording. Right here. Oh, I could stop my recording. I don't want to hit that by accident. And then what else did you say on here? And stream to see what happens. Stream. Okay, I'm going to click stop and stream. Don't want to hit that either. Good job. I love those overlays. Again, I can turn the overlays off. Now I'm going to click on the stream. I'm going to double tap right here and nothing happens. It's just multi-view to make sure you don't accidentally bump something by mistake. So if you were walking around using this and all of a sudden you see your macro didn't change camera views, if you needed to fix it fast, you could click right there and then double click and make a quick transition. And if that wasn't fast enough, you could just tap on that item and it'll pop on with a quick cut, just like I just did right there, or just like I did right there. And if I want to make a nice smooth transition, I double tap on preview and then double tap again, and I make that nice smooth transition, and I'll set that back to 1 second. Now I'm making a 1 second transition, and I was able to do that right on the front of my ATEM, but you could add another item to this page right here, and then you could put a section right here to be able to change the speed of how fast those transition takes place. So, okay. So let's look at my ATEM Mini Pro. So we're gonna unplug this. I'm gonna do the other option, which this is too fat to fit in there, so I'm gonna pull this off all the way down to here, USB-C. I'm gonna steal my adapter right here from the other cable that goes to my Extreme, and I'm gonna plug this little adapter in the one that goes to my, oh, I need this adapter. So I do need the USB-C to A adapter right there. And then I'm gonna add this on. It shouldn't be that difficult to put that adapter on. Plug this in. And obviously I haven't changed to my ATEM Mini Pro yet. I just wanted to show you guys. If I don't change, I do get the right image right from my ATEM Mini Pro, because I'm sending Multiview through the USB-C webcam out, but I don't get the right overlays. So how do I get the right overlays? Well, that's pretty easy. I'm just gonna switch down here to my ATEM Mini Pro. I can switch to whichever one I want right here. And I think now Adam said there's a way to have two open at the same time. I don't know if that's true side by side, but I'll yield to more powerful people than me. So I'm in here now. So now I want to go to switcher view, and there you go. I can turn the stuff on or off. I can tap on that, make it preview, double tap. It'll automatically transition. It's going at 2 seconds. I'm going to change the speed on the front of my ATEM Mini Pro, which I might as well show you guys that view. I set this up. So here is my ATEM Mini Pro. I'll slide it over. Here is my Extreme that I've been playing with. So if I wanted to change the timing, I could go to 1 second and then double tap, and you can see it transition in 1 second. Change this to 2 seconds. Transitioning through the bar in 2 seconds. I could also transition like this. Again, you're only seeing this on my desk. You're not seeing it in the live show. I'll change it back to 1 second, double tap, and there you go. So you can see that I have access to a cable coming from this Extreme right here that I can adapt, and I have one coming in right here from my ATEM, and they're just wrapped around the back of my desk so you don't have a bunch of cables in the view. So you can tap on my media player and it comes up here, double tap, and now it comes in the program. I could double tap on, I don't have any other cameras in here, but I can bring in one more camera. So let's just go ahead and do this using my dongle. Give it a second to pop on the air here. So now you can see, and I'll come in closer to this. Now you can see that I have my mobile cam showing MixEffect. Tap on that once, it comes in the preview. Tap on that twice, it goes over there. Double tap here, it just pops up. Double tap here, it just pops up, right? Tap once, goes in the preview. Tap twice, it just jumps into program. Then this is my HyperDeck that I have Blink Shuttle plugged in, so I could hit play and you're gonna see me start moving my mouth. So I could be switching my HyperDeck live by double tapping. So lots of cool things I can do. And again, I brought in my HyperDeck, hit pause on that, better look at me here. I brought in, I have the media player 1 filled up, and then I have camera 1 is a program input from tonight's live stream, and then I have this little camera. So I could then switch over to my other app, which is Filmic Pro, if I can find the original version here, legacy version. And now I have a mobile cam in my studio. Double tap on that again, and it becomes the main program out. Again, this is not feeding tonight's live stream other than in my downward facing camera. So same controls, hold down your finger, gives you all those options to put in different still images. Hold down my finger over the live stream. I could record our recording page. I could hit record right now, or I could switch. I don't know what that switches to. Adam, is that a different disc probably? Yeah, it's probably a different disc. Click on the audio page. There you go. Audio follows video. And then click on this disc, got that record, click on the live stream, and I could go live if I had the keys plugged in there. So that dongle is playing from my phone. This dongle is coming from my ATEM Mini Pro. Let's plug back in my Extreme. Okay, let's let that populate. There it is up again. We need to switch switchers to my ATEM Extreme ISO so we have the right overlays. Go to switcher page. So there you go. So now, what if I didn't want to use this view? Let's go up here to edit this page. Let's see what else Adam has in store for us here. Let's try Multiview switcher. Close, and there we go. So this doesn't have to have a webcam input. I'm going to pull it. So here we go. We're going to take it out. Bang, we lost that. Turn the overlay off. Now what happens if I double tap here? Well, I can then use Adam's links to bring in still images. I think you can make one of these live, I think Adam said. So, but all the other ones would have to be still images, or I could just be using this. I could know what my camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4 is automatically. And this looks to be, am I still in my ATEM Mini Pro screen? Connect. Yeah, I'm still in my ATEM Mini Pro screen. So let's add to this one, edit this page, click. Gonna go down here to switcher, multicam switcher, close. Okay, there it is. I'll plug this back in so you can see it. Blackmagic camera. So there it is, overlays on, overlays off, unplug this, bring this up, and I could use this switcher view. Or I could use it like, well, let's do this. So we know, and these audio layouts are different. That must be a layout that's preset in here. Webcam out, audio, oh yeah, this is correct. So if I hold this down, it gives me the audio follows video. So let's say that I want to have my camera live right now. I'll just double tap. And there you go. I make the transition. Double tap again. Let's say I want to have my laptop in preview. Just tap. It went up to preview. It says laptop there. And then I'm going to double tap. My laptop becomes live. Double tap again. Now let's say I just wanted to have my EOSR pop into the live stream. I'm just going to hit it twice and it pops on in a cut. And again, you have all of this intuitive control. Multiview's back up, and I could then plug this back in, right? And leave overlays off, so nothing I click up here changes anything. and I could just do this as my touch switcher, my reference, my touch switcher. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but that's one of the things I think is really cool that ATEM included. Again, this was mainly before the 9.5 update, and also I think ATEM designed it either before that or after that, the ability to bring in a URL, and I want to show you guys that now. So we're going to click on here. We're going to edit this page. We're going to go down here to this top section, click on it, and now I want to find remote web view right here. Okay, close. And now I have remote web view. This is where you would bring in a signal through the internet using Video Ninja, ATEM to your MacBook or your PC or your laptop or your Mac computer, and then feed it the Multiview, send that through Video Ninja, and then get the URL, and then click right here, and it says edit, copy URL, connect. And I don't know if you copy from here to Video Ninja, ATEM, or vice versa, I don't know. And then you would hit connect, and I do not have that set up tonight to be able to do that. I don't know if Video Ninja is using like SRT, but ATEM, please let us know in the chat. So you can have all these plugins in here. What if you want to remove one? Let's go up to edit. Let's go edit this page. And let's say I don't want remote web view here any longer. So I'm going to hit edit up here on the top, and I'm just going to hit the, oops, don't want to do that. Just want to hit this minus right here, and I hit delete. So now I have USB view, and I have the multi-view switcher view, and now you can see the web view is no longer down here. And you could, again, reposition these as well. And I just think it's a great addition, ATEM. I am super excited to see what the potential is. Oh, turn overlays back on, double tap. So that's my first. I played with it a little bit today. I tested it yesterday to make sure that I had the right dongles to make sure I could get it to work. I waited today to watch 2 of ATEM's videos. One is ATEM with John Barker. They did some streams together. Some of those streams were on John Barker's Here to Record YouTube channel, and some of those were on Adam Tao's channels, but they both appeared. And so I watched the one before the 9.51 update where they talked about how to use WebView, how to use Switcher View, and then ATEM talked about how to bring in the multi-view using all of those adapters, and then you could use that as well. But now we have this overlay on top of the USB, or we call it, what did you call it here again, ATEM? USB view. So again, USB view I think is a hot feature. I think the fact that you can now send multi-view to your iPad using MixEffect, hopefully we'll be able to see a full screen mode. I don't know if that's even possible, ATEM, in the whole structure of MixEffect's app. But again, I think that's a great ask from Joe. We won't put any pressure on you. I'm just super excited that you are in the chat. So again, let me adjust here real quick. I want to put chat back on the air. And let's play chat on. Let's play some catch up here. ATEM asked my question earlier. There's no difference between the free download with the pro upgrade or the paid front version of the app. The price hasn't changed. It's still the same. So again, ATEM, thank you so much. If you have not, like right now, I have a poll up on the screen, and the poll is telling me that 52% of you guys live tonight who have answered the poll. Let's go over here and see how many people did. I have 21 votes, which is great. That means a lot of you guys are watching and not chatting. If you can't chat with us, hit the subscribe button. 1 minute later, after you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to chat with us. Please say hi. Please say where you're from. And I would really appreciate it. Now, you can say thank you to ATEM by going over to his channel and subscribing. Let me bring ATEM's channel up here on the screen. I think I have ATEM here. Yep. here's the video I watched. So let's go to me and my laptop. So this is the video I watched where he did the 9.5 update. So you could just click on that link and then click on his channel. I've already subscribed. You can subscribe right here. I've already ring the bell so I know every time Adam is live. I believe I already hit the like. Oh, nope. So now I've hit the like. He has 392 likes. So you guys can go over there and hit the like button. This is Adam explaining how to use the 9.5 firmware update and be able to export Multiview through the USB-C port of your ATEM. And again, that only applies on the ATEM Pro, Pro ISO, Pro SDI ISO, Extreme, Extreme ISO, Extreme SDI ISO. And then I think Adam talks about some other workarounds with some of the other devices that it may be available also. I think it's available in the constellations. Tony has a constellation. I think Joe has a constellation, if I remember right. So you guys can test out that web out feature, and Adam can chime in here in the text. So go over and subscribe to Adam's channel. I'm sure Adam would much appreciate that if you did. MixEffect switcher multi-view to change to MV layout. So let's see, switcher settings, multi-view to change the switcher output. Let me see this. So settings, multi-view. Yeah, so it is the page that I showed you guys, but that's the map of how to get there. Settings, multi-view in the sidebar, and then there'll be a selection there to change the format. So if you only want 2 big boxes in your multi-view, and what are we talking about? I mean, for those of you, and I'm trying to be more consistent with helping people understand this. So we'll leave that up there, Adam, and we'll go to me and my laptop. Let's see, we'll leave that chat on the air. So that's Adam's telling you where to get to that. And here's why you would need a different layout. Let me fix this real quick. We're going to go down to the settings wheel. Let me turn that chat, clear that chat. Under multi-view, I can change the layout of my multi-view. I can click on, this is the change location for multi-view. I can then put what I want in that particular box. But if I want just one big box in this top left quadrant, so I would just click like this, and now it's one big box, and it defaults to output 1. If I click on it again, it's 4 boxes. So I only have the option to change each quadrant into 4 boxes or 1 box. So I would need to change the layout inside MixEffect to match this for the overlays. Or if I did this and this to make it look more like the ATEM Mini Pro layout of Multiview. So how does that translate into the app? Well, let's turn the camera on again. And let's go to me and my desktop view and turn chat off the air. And then we will go into that page now. So let's go back to the switcher. And you can see that it's fine with the overlays off, but when you put the overlays on, it doesn't work. So I would have to go over to settings. I would go to multi-view, and I would find the layout that I'm demonstrating right now, which is, where are you? I don't even see it. That would be 2 big boxes on the top and 4 big boxes on the bottom, or 2 sets of boxes on the bottom. And I don't see that. If I scroll over, there it is. So now we'll go back, switcher view, switcher, and turn overlays on, and now it's laid out correctly. So the reason he has the ability to change the overlay layout is because you have the ability inside Multiview for extremes, not for the ATEM Mini Pro, but for the extremes, you do have the ability to change your layout. I think that's true with the Constellation. The Constellation has 2 multi-view settings because you got ME1, ME2. The Constellation 4 M4 has 4 different multi-view layouts. So I don't know if Adam has the ability to do that, but Let me go back in here and change it back to 4 boxes. So he has an overlay for all the different boxes. Again, that's ATEM thinking ahead and making sure that he is rolling with the systems inside software control. And that's incredible. And super big. Once again, hats off to ATEM for being ahead of the, being ahead of all of this. So, and actually I could leave chat and my camera on. I figured this out today in OBS. I should display this. So let's do me and my desktop view. Let's see, is the camera not, oh, I got to bring it over. So then I could pop a chat up. Hey, it's TVJ. Are you going live tonight, TVJ? It's great to have you. Again, it's great to have Joe in the chat tonight if I hadn't popped you on the screen. Adam, yes, there is a link in the docs to a list of compatible adapters. Yeah. And so I don't know, Adam, if that needs to be updated, but Joe says, so you don't need a computer for ATEM Software Control at all. Go with Ipdad and the ATEM Mini Pro, and you could, in theory, do everything. Yes. And again, that's the value, unless I'm wrong. Good to have you, Eurus Design. Gary C, a 4K 30 hertz or a 4K 60 hertz version hub. So I'm not sure that's to Gary. So pretty much everything but camera control. So Joe, if you did go remote, Adam is saying you could do everything except for camera control. So let's see. You can change the multi-view layout and change which boxes appear in the multi-view. I think that's what we just explained and showed a demo of. Media player. Did I double click on media player? Let's see here. Let me go back to my ATEM Mini Pro and connect. And then back to my Extreme ISO and connect. Let's see if I'm back to a switcher view, back to a 4-box layout. Did I not save that? No, I didn't save it. Done. Does it automatically pop up? No, it doesn't. If I go out of here, let's see. How about if I go to this page, edit, and then go back, close. Still hasn't updated. Let me go to my ATEM Mini Pro Connect, back to my ATEM Mini Extreme ISO Connect, and let's hit switcher view. Multi-view still hasn't updated. Let me unplug it, plug it back in. Okay, what am I doing here? Is this my ATEM Mini Pro? Yeah, what did I do here? I'm totally lost. Interesting. Am I sending the wrong signal? Can't be. It's hot in the studio. I ran into a snag. I'm trying to figure it out. Please stand by. That is definitely my ATEM Mini Pro because it's receiving the output. So I had the right input. My multi-view is still not doing all the boxes, and it must be something inside the software. Oh, it never changed. What is the deal? Let's go back to one big box and back. It is not changing in my multi-view. That is scary. Is it because I'm streaming live? Is that a bug? Oh my goodness. It must be a bug. Let's do this. Let's try a different output maybe. Webcam out. Let me go webcam out. That's extreme ISO number 2. Oh, I know what's happening. Yay, Keith, wake up. Okay, I was in my extreme ISO number 2. Let's go in here. Multiview, let's fix this. Click done. Wow, I changed it before I switched over to my other device. So let's go back here. So there we go. Overlays on, overlays off. And it looks like right now the overlays are correct. Let's check settings. Let's go to Multiview, and it is correct. It's got all of those different angles, and that layout is right there, and it's lit up. So, okay. So had a little brain lapse there. Switcher view. Overlays on. I can make me live now by just double clicking on that. So caught up my brain with what's happening in the studio. That's what happens when you have 2 extremes and a ATEM Mini Pro, and you're playing with all 3 in a live stream. So fun for you, not so fun for me. Okay, so let's turn that camera off, and let's just finish up here in the chat on the air. And record and stream from one of those buttons. Let's just go through here. Joe says this is cool. Can an iPad be used as a media player? I'm sure Adam's going to answer that question down here. Only on USB view open at the time. So that would mean that you would have to open it in USB view. So again, remember, you can send just your media player to your web input, so the web view, or multi-view to it, any one of your inputs, because you have the ability now in these extremes and up, right, to send whatever you want out of that USB output. And so you could bring in just your media player or just in your HyperDAC, and then you could play that. But I don't know, Adam, if that means that you could actually play it live into an input. Way over my head tonight, but that's a great question. So let's see. Full screen someday with the overlays to switch by tapping buttons is golden. Marcus O'Sullivan, it's great to have you here all the way from, I believe, Ireland. And would love someday, you still have my email, I'd love someday to have some pictures of the stained glass windows in that beautiful church that you do live streaming in. And maybe one of these days that we can get you on the channel, Marcus. So had a chance to do a Zoom consult with Marcus, and gave him some advice on sound, and just great guy. So hi. Thanks for joining me tonight, Marcus. Excited you're here. We said that, but you can connect multiple UFC cameras. The drop down will show you all of them. And again, that would be through a hub, right, Adam? Are the Visca or PTZ controls available? Don't know. You can also switch the behavior of double tap in USB view to switch between cut and auto. Oh, okay. So where is that setting, Adam? You can also switch the behavior of the double tap in the USB view to switch between cut and auto. So the auto transition is double tap now. You're saying that I could double tap on the preview and it would just cut if we change that settings. Is that the normal cut preview settings that every ATEM has? Good to know in the chat. Good to have you here, Tony. We have been showing off all the cool multi-view inputting features that Adam Tao now has in MixEffect. So please watch the video later. If you guys jumped in the middle of this, go back. I demoed the new USB view in the iPad Pro 13-inch M4, so I know it works on that. If you have a USB-C port and you have the iOS 17 or newer and you've updated your ATEM to 9.5.1 firmware or up, you should be able to output your webcam multi-view right into your iPad. You do have to do a little tricking of the device, which I show in this video. So USB-C to a USB-C to USB-A adapter, and then back from USB-A to USB-A to USB-C adapter, and then that will let the webcam input get into an iPad. And lots of different ways to dongle that, but if you try to go USB-C out to USB-C in, that doesn't seem to work. But you can go down to USB-A, back up to USB-C, and that will work. And there's lots of different types of adapters. This one right here came with my prompter. So if I wanted to go from the prompter normal USB-C to USB-A cable and go in USB-C into my laptop or a Mac or whatever, then I need this dongle. So it came with it. I've never used it until yesterday. I found it when I really didn't like the way these dongles that Adam recommended fit in my new iPad case, because it's too square right here. It wouldn't go all the way in. And yet this one fit in just exactly in the slot. So you can see the size difference. So this one is not as wide as the other one. And you can see that that gap right there. I'll get out of the frame. Hopefully that focused. But anyway, so this worked perfect. So if you have an Elgato prompter and you're not using this adapter, just get yourself a USB-C to USB-A cable, like you would probably plug into your laptop or your Macintosh to do Zoom from your ATEM, and then just add this adapter to it, plug it into a USB, excuse me, iPad, because it doesn't work with a Lightning iPad like my old one. It only works with a USB-C iPad. That means the charging port, the data port is USB-C, and then this will work. So that's what we covered. So I demoed all of that, and it's great to have Adam here on the channel. MixEffect does not support the new Visca or PTZ features, so you'll still need to have ATEM to control for that. And Joe says, thank you, Adam, for answering these questions. Okay, let me see if I can catch up. Multiview switcher is not live video. You can assign static images for each of your video sources. So yeah, if you don't want to use the USB-C into it with the webcam Multiview, then you can just open Multiview switcher and then take still images from all your cameras, which you can do inside the media player. Again, if you don't know how to do that, that's simple. You just make sure you have empty slots, right? If I had a bunch of empty slots here tonight and I don't have any, so let's see, is there anything in here I can get away with? Because I want to talk about this. Yeah, I can get rid of this one. So make the camera live that I want to take the picture. So let's make my main camera live. So this would be the still image for this slot. Smile. Okay. Go back to me and my laptop. So that image is right here. I can bust it up on the screen. So I just took that image inside my ATEM. So there it is. Put my logo back on the screen. So if I had more areas open, then I would just cut to the next camera. Let's cut to camera 1, and I would do the same thing. I'd use my mouse, take a picture, and then what we're saying is, or what Adam is saying, is that you would be able to add into that particular multi-view switcher, you'd be able to add still images so you knew on the screen what camera you're switching to, not just the label for that camera, but the picture. And then he says one slot could come in live through that USB-C cable. So you could assign it to camera 1, your main camera, and then that could be not a still image in that slot. And correct me, Adam, if that's wrong. Okay, chat back on the air. Tony, you can now bring in a webcam into an iPad. Adam built the functionality. Okay, so you guys are talking. Tony says, nice. Joe, just realized that the 2ME does not do webcam adjustable output. Bummer. I don't know if that's going to be a firmware update. Adam, maybe you answered that. Musty, thanks for joining us tonight. Hi, Adam. How do I change in MixEffect the super source, which input number is on top of the other? Sometimes I just want to use one of your presets in super source, but I can't change the overlay. The 2ME constellation, you have to use the SDI aux outputs to a USB-C adapter to bring in Multiview. So it's not available. And I don't know if that's just, there wasn't enough memory inside the 2ME. It makes no sense to me. Obviously, there's major differences between the 2ME and an Extreme SDI. Extreme SDI has 4 outputs. I think, Joe, yours has like 10 outputs, but also it doesn't do ISO recording, it doesn't stream, and it doesn't do any even program recording. So maybe they limited the computer inside of it and they can't update it. I don't know. Does that add a lot of latency? Latency from my webcam shooting down at my desk, but I didn't see a lot of latency in my switching. So when I'm just bringing webcam into the MixEffect app and I'm not shooting down with my camera, I didn't see much of any latency at all. Shouldn't add any more latency. Joe says, thanks. Let me just keep catching up here. Okay, to confirm, the webcam USB feed into MixEffect is only carrying webcam video, not control, correct? You're only sending in a picture of the Multiview if you had that feature in 2ME or Extreme. So it sounds like it's not available in the 2ME to bring in Multiview out of the webcam out. I might be wrong, I don't own a 2ME. But if you're bringing Multiview in, that's what you're gonna use. And then the web overlays do the switching. And that was built right into MixEffect. And I think we covered how to do the different overlay layouts. Would be cool to not have to connect iPad to a network. I use wireless when I'm using my iPad. So, but Adam says it's much better if you use a USB hub and plug it into the network. You'll have less dropouts. So might as well, I just build a network when I'm remote, Joe, and plug in the devices. I plug in my HyperX, I plug in my ATEMs, I'll plug in my laptop. And if I had an iPad on a dongle sitting on my desk, I would plug that in as well. But you could also do it wirelessly in the wireless network there and have it communicate. Just understand that the iPad may drop out. I never see this iPad drop out when I'm live, but I'm not moving around. So again, I don't have web view in here, but with the new video input, video view, you could do that through Video Ninja and maybe be able to be remote at a site as well. But I've never tried that, so I don't know, but Adam says that should work. But a video hub would give you power. You could actually do HDMI out and display MixEffect in your ATEM. So that would be great for demoing it, putting it in super source. If you were doing like a live training event on the ATEM devices, then I could see how that would be really important to be able to send your iPad to your ATEM so you could bring it into super source and display it. I'm using an overhead camera because I don't have a hub, or I would be using the hub tonight to bring my MixEffect into my super source. But it's nice to have it on my desk so I can show you the cable hookup, unplug it, show you my ATEMs that are on my desk as well. And that's again using my overhead web camera, okay? You can change your Extreme Multiview, not a bug. You changed your Extreme Multiview. Yeah, it wasn't a bug. I apologize for that. I actually was in the wrong Extreme. So I needed to go back into my Extreme #1 to fix my Multiview because I changed it before I left to go Extreme #2. Just my fault. If you connect ATEM via USB to MixEffect's device, ATEM will create its own Ethernet network that you can connect to separate from the Ethernet cable connection. Wow, that is techie. But it semi makes sense to me. If you connect an ATEM with USB to MixEffect, yeah, he demos that in this video. So in this video, which is linked below, it's called ATEM 9.5 Update, Unlocking the Next Webcam Output and USB Direct Control Features with MixEffect. Somewhere in here, I think right here, Adam is demoing how you can create a network. I think it's right here somewhere. So I don't see chapter markers. Maybe, Adam, you can pop in a chapter marker in that video. But go over to Adam's site and you'll be able to see a demo of how to make your iPad speak to your network by going directly from the iPad through a USB-C dongle. Okay, Grish, he's figured it out before reading your chat. Adam, laugh out loud. Yeah, sometimes I sort it out. Yes, through the hub. That was answered to chat earlier. MixEffect settings, user interface. That was where you go. I asked that earlier. I'm leaving track even of my questions I asked Adam. Sorry. I should have talked to Adam. We should have planned this. I should have had him on the live stream. But I knew a lot of it was going to be me demoing it, and I didn't want Adam sitting around for a whole live stream. And he decided the last minute today to come on the chat. So I super appreciate it. Adam's been great. Thanks, Adam. You can use the USB Ethernet connection and the webcam output on iPad. Yes. Thank you, Tony. It is great stuff, Adam. Good to have you, Akil. We've had some good conversations tonight. We're going to talk about Vegas here in a minute. It's already 5:45, so we've been going hour and 45 minutes. We've had Adam Tao, who designed MixEffects, on with us tonight, answering all the high-tech questions and almost stumping me tonight with some of his input. And in reality, almost did. Okay, so let's try this real quick. So let's get my dongle out real quick. Let's take out this face cam from Elgato. Let's plug it in this end. No, let's plug it in this end. What am I going to use here? I'll use this one. I'm going to go ahead and steal this from my ATEM. So I plugged this camera and I plugged it in, and I'm getting nothing. Let's fix this. And I'm getting nothing in, so I can't go USB-C. Let's try without the dongle. Let's pull the dongle. And let's see. This one, wow. I have every cable unhooked here tonight. This one will go direct, I think. It will plug all the way in. Let's plug this in to the webcam. So we got the webcam plugged in. And I do not, overlays off. I do not see this webcam face cam coming in. So obviously I can't plug a face cam in direct into MixEffect. I just thought I would try this. So I've got everything all messed up now in case anybody else asks a question. Let's fix this. Let's go back to this here. Duh. Okay. Thought I would try that. So there's plugged back in. I have Multiview coming into my live show, and I could just simply double tap on that camera and put overlays on, double tap on that camera. So with overlays on, I can do tap switching, tap transition, direct cuts to different cameras, the Tony and QuickTech Solutions cam, Joe cam right here. And again, the light's all off, so I apologize for that. So with those overlays on, you can do all these crazy things in MixEffect. You can also do this type switching, so you could add this to that page. You could add this to that page, and we covered all that in tonight's live stream. So again, thank you so much for Adam helping us out with all these crazy questions. And let's go back to chat on the air and let's see. It's a little different. Static images in Multiview Switcher need to be accessible over the internet for MixEffect to access. So yeah, that would be interesting. So those static images have to be available over the internet. So I guess, Adam, is there an explanation how to do that on your site? I'm sure there is. We're not going to dive into that tonight. It's good to have you, Jason. Jason is my buddy from Las Vegas. Thank you, Jason, for popping in tonight. Sorry, I just now saw you, but I am going to talk about my trip to Vegas here before I get off the air tonight. So it's good to have you. I will chat with you in a minute, but it's great to have you tonight. Thanks for the info, Adam. It's great. Can the iPad power the webcam? I don't think so. That's probably why it's not working. Okay, 2 mic is on. Mic 2 is on. So if that's me, yeah, I am using my mic 2. Let me go back to my mic number 1. Akil says there's some reverb in my mic. Well, let's just look at the settings. Might be a loop, probably gone now. That's chat overlay. Let's look at the audio settings. I'm only in mic 1. There is no reverb built into that. It would have to be coming from my ATEM. Let me go into my page. Nothing's hot as far as reverb in my Rodecaster Pro 2 that I know. Click on channel 1, look at effects. I could add reverb. I should have reverb right now live. So that should be reverb. This should be reverb on, off, and turn that off again. Reverb off. So that's the only way I can do reverb is by turning it on in my Rodecaster Pro. So let me listen to the audio. Testing 1, 2, check. No audio on there now. Let's turn that back on and see if that worked. Testing 1, 2, check. Yeah, that adds reverb inside my Rodecaster Pro. So, okay, well, hopefully there's no delay now, but I do have my wireless go off. So sorry if you guys were getting any reverb. I don't think it's made for webcams, but I tested one out. Joe says if you plug in more than one ATEM into a hub, you'll be able to choose between webcams. I don't know if Adam's done any testing with plugging it in live. And again, it would be UVC webcams with uncompressed. I thought this was uncompressed, but I don't know if it would power directly from the back of an ATEM. You probably got to power it from a hub, is my understanding. And I think I just answered that question correctly. And if I do, I get some bonus points. Multiview switcher static images is covered in documentation. Great. Thank you, Adam. Okay. Unless Facecam is not UVC, I think it's just because I didn't have a hub to power it. So There is no power, I think, through the USB-C out of a ATEM, but there is going to be power from most hubs if it's USB-C to USB-C webcam input. So, okay, now is good. No reverb. Cool. Glad to know that. But I did do some testing here live. Audio's okay. He was just using his wireless microphone, and yeah, that creates more room sound because it's down here, and this microphone is closer to my face. So, okay. It was sound bouncing off the screens being picked up by the microphone. Well, you have a good ear, Grish. But the iPad OS should be able to have a webcam. Yeah, I don't know. So this might not be UVC. You guys can check it out. If I can find out if it is or isn't, I will try to put that in the notes tonight. Again, I have some great links in the notes tonight. Let me bring that up. So let's go. Me and a laptop. So you can see right here, I've got a link to, let's see what I put in here. Las Vegas live stream. I put a link in here to ATEM's site. I think I have the Major League live video that I did with Jason, who's in the chat tonight. So if you want to see that, that live stream that he did from his studio on Wednesday night, go to this link and subscribe to his channel. He has 2 channels. He has the one you can see in him tonight, which is Vegas Hard Bags. And then he has his Major League Fab channel. And you could go subscribe to both of those. That's Jason Kranitz, and that is one of my clients. And I got to be at his house last week in Vegas for really 4 days, if you count when I got there late on Monday night and I left on early morning on Friday. I was pretty much there. Great host, great family. Got a great German Shepherd who I miss now, believe it or not. I hope that German Shepherd misses me as well. But I'll let Joe disclose the names if he wants to. Okay, or Jason disclose the names if he wants to. So I've got Adam's links in here. So please go check out that video, Major League Fab video. I did that video. Jason brings me on in the very end, said some really nice things. So thank you so much, Jason, for the nice things you said. And it was an absolute privilege to do my live stream from your studio on last Tuesday night, which you can find out right here on my channel. And then actually to do your live stream on Wednesday night and be your producer in the background, your switcher, and then for you to invite me on the live stream. But your video tour was amazing, fun to do. And then if they want to see you in action, they can see you Wednesday night on your Major League Fab link in my description. So guys, please go over there and give Jason a shout out. Wow. So yeah, if my voice has got, man, that's a bummer. Okay. So why do I not have chat on the air? So Jason Kranitz from Las Vegas says his beautiful shepherd is looking for me right now. Because dogs have a hard time seeing the screen, but I'm right here. I'm right here, and I miss you. I miss that dog. I was actually a playmate for a German Shepherd for those days, as well as helping Jason in his studio. Okay, so let me pause right here because this is important. I wanted to do this. I am not going to show any video tonight because I told Jason once I produce that video, I will send it over to him for his okay to show it with you guys live. But these are some shots. This is one of the rooms that Jason has at his house. Let's get chat off the air here, even though that is Jason right there on the chat. So that's from upstairs overlooking the balcony where his normal room is. So this is the back of the balcony, or let's see. Yeah, it's kind of in the back of the balcony. And then there's this really cool area in the front. And I took this picture because I love this engine table. So you can see the pistons up there. Jason, this is cool. I didn't get a chance to tell you. I thought this is really cool. This is a glass table supported by 4 pistons on that 4-cylinder, obviously, engine. And it's so cool. So that was up in the balcony as well. So right above that placard on the wall is a overlooking balcony. And if you just peek up over that, you can look down into that bay and you can see the garage door. You can bring vehicles in and out. There's this real cool classic car. There is a Harley he's working on. You can see his mobile recording stand. It's got a TV on it. He can mount 2 cameras to that. He has an ATEM Mini Pro ISO in there now that he just added. I think he added an Extreme as well this weekend, so you'll have 2 Extreme ISOs in the studio. But you can see he's got 2 lasers on the left. He's got all of his great cabinets there. It was so cool to be there. And then the big shout out to Jason is, let's see, this is the other room. We messed with cameras in there. We talked about lighting. This is before he put these really cool light racks up on the ceiling. And so I don't have a picture of that I could find. I got to go through the video footage and take that. But he's got some really cool lighting. Go check out the video that I did with him on Tuesday and Wednesday. We do talk about that lighting. He's got this incredible view out the back of his house, looking into the mountains. That's Las Vegas in the background. That was really cool. But the big shout out is this room right here got a redo last week, and the cable management is a 10. I give Jason a 10 out of 10 for his cable management. He ran all these cables along the floor. Then they come in over here, up to the different desk items. He's checking all his cables there, going into his Extreme to make sure everything is working correctly. Here is another look at that little wall mount where all his cables are. It's the best cable management that I've seen at any client's house anywhere by far, and at least 50% better than the mess that I have hidden under my desk. So I just wanted to give Jason a shout out. Here's our still image from last Wednesday's live. So go over and check out Wednesday's live stream that I did with Jason. Link is in the description. That was his live stream. He opens up with a PowerPoint training, goes down to his main bay studio, cleans his laser head right on camera, and then he goes over to the other shop and does some branding conversations about how you could brand your business using lasers. He's got a laser class right now available. He's going to be teaching live for students, so you can go check that out on his Major League Fab webpage, and he talks all about how to sign up for that. I believe there's links in the description under the video that's linked below, so check that out. But thank you so much, Jason, for inviting me to Las Vegas. I'll pop this image up there again really quickly, but I got a chance to go to Las Vegas and hang out with Jason Kranitz in his studio, and I'm absolutely honored when I get a chance to go into someone else's journey, not just on a Zoom call, but get to be there in their studio. So cool. So thank you so much. And Adam, again, thank you for joining us tonight live. I don't know of any of the top my head that's webcams. With my 2ME Constellation HD, I use Blackmagic Design SDI to HDMI microconverter to an HDMI to UVC adapter into the USB-C hub. So I think the key is to use a USB-C hub. I'm going to try that USB-C hub that Adam recommended. I showed earlier in the video. He has links over on his channel. I'm sure that they're possibly Amazon associate links, so you'll be supporting Adam. I'm going to let that money flow to him. I'm not going to take any of that money by putting my associate links in the description below. So keep that in mind. Tonight's live stream, because Adam's our guest, use his links. And again, I put links to those pages in the description for Adam Tao's MixEffect. So cool. Just making sure there's not another picture that I wanted to show you guys tonight. Nope, we are good. Let's finish catching up in the chat. I have Jason's permission to show videos. I don't have anything rendered ready for my HyperDeck, but I did get a chance to use my HyperDeck at Jason's studio last week to play his really cool animated intro. Even though we had a little glitch, it didn't go live when I hit the macro, but we were able to play that. So that's in Wednesday's live video on Jason's Major League Fab channel. And we produced a little video in my live stream. So you can go check that out. That plays inside our live stream last week. Jason and I in front of his motorhome RV garage that he's converted, and another video of us out showing off the view in his backyard. That's in last Tuesday night's live stream. So go check it out. Adam says, I have those things. We'll have to give it a try. I thought Magewell had something at one point. We'll have to do some digging. Oh, that's Joe talking about the Magewell. Vegas hard bags, dude. The Snappa stuff is amazing. Cool. Thanks from Jason. Hey, Jason from Tony. Hey from Tony or Jason to Quick Tech Solutions, which is Tony. Not a mechanic here, but I love tools, even if they are spotless and clean. Yeah, Jason's shop is incredible. I could really only tell you there's like maybe one or two issues that he has already addressed. We did some dialing in. We messed with his camera settings, did a lot of hands-on training. We talked macros. The focus was lighting and pictures on Thursday. It's our last day working together. Tuesday was dialing everything in so that we could actually do a live stream, and I used my laptop. And then on Wednesday, we did the live from his laptop. So he is set up to go live, even though Jason has some macros that we may still need to work on and some other little things, because a lot of our time was in Tuesday and Wednesday was getting ready for those two live streams and dialing things in, which benefits in the long run. But I wish I had had another day with Jason in Las Vegas, not just because the weather was great and he was a great host, and now he's a good friend, and he's got an amazing wife and dog and some pretty cool cats as well, but because it was just such a great experience getting to hear his story and spending some quality time, which I don't get to as often in Zoom because we're doing business, but we got to just hang out, have lunch together, dinner together with he and his wife. Absolute amazing time. Dude, it was incredible. So I will never, ever forget my trip to hang out with you in Vegas. Okay, you're welcome. Thanks for doing the USB view. More fun stuff coming in the next version of MixEffects. What a teaser. So, okay, poll. 54% of you. Jason, have you done the poll yet? Because Jason has MixEffects. We used it at his studio. Tonight, Jason, I showed off bringing Multiview into MixEffects, so you can literally see your Multiview and then tap. It does have to be tethered, so that's not going to work to run around the studio. But for you upstairs, if you wanted to, you could use an iPad for Multiview, but it does have to be the USC version. But again, it's great. Adam's got updates coming. Type this into B&H, Keith, AV Matrix UC1118 SDI to USB 3.1 Type C video capture. Okay. So you guys can type that in as well into B&H's studio. Yes, Jason did the poll. Okay, so let's check on the poll. Out of 24 votes, 54% of those people, just over 12, right? Don't know how that's possible. 46 people, yes, have MixEffects. 54 has no. I'm not satisfied. Someone get over there right now and add MixEffects to your studio. If you have an ATEM Mini Pro, Pro Extreme, or Pro ISO, Pro SDI ISO, Extreme ISO, Extreme SDI ISO. If you have an iPad, even an older iPad, using MixEffects makes things so much easier. You can change what's in SuperSource boxes. You can start and stop recording. You can actually go in and reprogram your macros and change the name without having to start all over. There are so many positive things in MixEffects, even before he added Multiview as well as Web View, USB Web View. It's what's USB Cam View. What is it? USB View, Multiview Switcher View, And then that web view, which you could actually bring a remote feed in via the web page without having to tether your iPad. I think you have to try it over wireless in your studio and send a video web multi-view out through Video Ninja, and then see if you can ingest that in WebView by putting that HTTP address in there, that link. So, okay. I have to say, I'm tired. It's been an exhausting live stream, but I'm not complaining. Been kind of dieting. I ate some really good food in Las Vegas. Probably added a few pounds the last couple days, shredding that off. Big shout out to everybody that was live with me tonight. Huge shout out to Adam Tal, our special guest #1, who designed MixEffect, the app for iPad. It's only available for iOS. You can run it on the iPhone. Let me get that out here as well, and get back to that page. So I can run it on the iPhone, I can run it on the iPad, and I can walk around my house. And I use it all the time. When I use my streaming bridge to stream from another room in the house, how do I do that? I take my ATEM Mini Pro into another room, hook a camera to it, hook the cat cable into my network, and then I stream into my studio to my streaming bridge. Jason has a streaming bridge, so he can stream from his Bay studio up to his control room. So Jason's using a streaming bridge we set up, so that way he didn't try to run a long HDMI cable upstairs. So again, he's using it in his studio. It had a few frames of delay, so we'll create a macro that switches to the Bay and also changes the frame delay. So he can do that on his iPad using MixEffect. But I highly recommend download the app, try the free version just to play around with it. Then if you want all the cool features, pay the $49.99 or whatever it is and add this to your tool set. I would not recommend it if I didn't believe in it. I recommend it to every single one of my clients because it's just a amazing app. Okay, back to my macros. Akil said, I have a question that is off topic. I saw in some YouTube videos that clips and stingers were shown in the ATEM Software Control, but don't have these in my ATEM Mini Extreme. Then I heard that these can only be used in big ATEMs. Do you know which ATEMs are meant by this? Yeah, so it's grayed out. Let's see, can I show this to you? Let's see, where do I go? Over here to DVE. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. I apologize. What is on the screen? That is chat on the air. Sorry. Try this again. I can't remember exactly, but it's available in the 2ME, I believe, the 4ME constellations. And what it is that if you do 60 frames per second, I think you have 400 frames of video that you could actually play stingers. It doesn't enable the stinger. There's no enabling of the stinger button on an ATEM Extreme, but it is now available in the 2ME. It's one of the things that Tony has in his studio, QuickTech Solutions. Joe has it as well. So they can play up to, I think it's 400 frames, if I remember that right. Guys, put it in the chat. So they can play 400 frames of video, which is long enough for a stinger. So in their media player, they have the ability to play video back, not just two media players. And I don't remember if it's up here or not. I've never had a 2ME to remember it, but I know that it's a grayed out feature somewhere inside the control software. But that's the answer to that question. It's not available in the Extreme ISO, Extreme SDI ISO, or the ATEM Mini smaller versions. You have to go to the 2ME you have to go to the 4ME, and I think it's also available in some of the other devices, but it's so many frames of video. I was hoping they would enable it eventually in the Extreme, but they never did, and they've never enabled the stinger button on the front of the ATEM. But you can do that and play those clips, and I guess you could play slides as well through that ability. So it kind of replaces a HyperDeck for animated graphics, but it doesn't replace a HyperDeck for playing intro videos, outro videos, or videos you produce while you're live, or reactionary videos. You could bring those in using your iPad. You could bring those videos in using your Mac or your PC or your laptop just by playing videos back, or you could play them back in a HyperDeck. But again, those features not available yet. I hope that answers your question, Akil. Okay. Clips and stingers are not supported on the Extreme. It is supported on the TV Studio and the Constellation models. Okay. Thanks to Adam for chiming in. I appreciate that. Added the MixEffects can update the poll now. Cool. Juris Design went over Adam and added MixEffects. I am excited. So, yeah. So I don't know if you can go in and change your vote on the poll, but we're going to end it now anyway. So it sounds like we have tipped the scale to more people tonight that answered the poll are using MixEffects or about to, and almost half haven't purchased it yet. Well, obviously, you don't have an iPad or an ATEM to use MixEffects. That's why you're not getting the app, because if you do have an ATEM and you have an iPad, it is absolutely a cool app to have. And right now on my iPads, it is my favorite app. The other app that I'm really enjoying is UC Control, so I can remotely control my new Studio Live console, which I'm going to have on my live stream again here soon. I learned a lot more about the Studio Live consoles and using the app and making a network. So we're going to build a network inside my studio, and we're going to control that. I'm going to run all the audio for the ATEM through that console and then into a mic input. So you'll be hearing again the Studio Live console. And I probably will even use one of my higher end wireless microphones for that live stream coming up in a live stream at Life Journey Production Studios very soon. Okay. Hi, Hank. Good to see you again. Haven't heard from you in the chat, so hopefully you're here. Glad Tony jumped in later. I think I put Tony up on the screen, but love Tony. He's always willing to help me answer questions if I need him. Go over and subscribe to his channel as well. And there's a lot of people here that have channels. Do yourself a favor and join their streams and be a part of that. Let's see. Joe said there's a hum in my audio, probably because I don't have things set up perfectly. I apologize for that. Joe said better now. I didn't even notice the switch from the SM7B to the wireless. I've really played with the EQ and the audio and tried to make them sound as close as they possibly can. I still would recommend the SM7B over the Wireless Go. This is way more present and without reverb, and you could tell there's a little bit more reverb when you use the Wireless Go. Chris says, I like Video Ninja. Adam said earlier, I do recommend a USB-C hub because you get power, Ethernet, more reliability connection, and USB connections on the ATEM. You can plug in Multiview ATEMs into USB. You can plug in multiple ATEMs into the USB in the hub so that you could switch between them, is what he's saying there. Just making sure I didn't miss any really important points here from Adam. It's a feature in Adam. How are you doing this? New in iOS 18. It's a feature in iPad 18 and Mac OS 14. Doesn't work on iPhones because of Apple's lack of support. Cool. Yes, any webcam that supports USC, those are the webcams, but you'll have to use a hub I think we popped these up earlier. I thought, please smash the like button. Thank you, Grish. I need likes. Likes help the algorithm, gets this information out to more people, promotes Adam, promotes Jason, promotes you guys because I talk about your channel. So if you like these videos and you share these videos, a lot of you are getting some promotion on my channel. I did think of one person here. I also like to, Doug is in here tonight. He's got a great channel. Go subscribe to it. I think Grish said he doesn't have a channel. I don't remember. Adam definitely has a channel. Luma key appears to be on. Yeah, that's what happens because I have my key on. Okay. Yeah, Adam's MixEffects kind of gets similar to looking at a YOLO box, I guess, with the tap features. That's true. And then in case anybody's confused, Joe brought this up earlier. All you're doing is feeding in I addressed this earlier, feeding Multiview into MixEffects, and then Adam created overlays that do the switching. So in reality, you're not taking up another connection. You already have a connection that MixEffects is already speaking to your ATEM, but the web view brings in the USB view brings in the Multiview, and then Adam has those overlays that go on top that you can do the switching. If you don't want to overlay, you just hit the little bottom right-hand button and highlight it when you want overlays and unhighlight it when you don't. And so Adam basically answered that by saying no processing of the image. So, okay. Well, I think I caught up. Appreciate you guys. And we'll leave with this. Jason and I have been on Zoom a bunch of times, and so I assumed I was taller than him. And so we have this joke to both of us now that you seem shorter on camera. And so obviously, Jason, in all fairness, you deserve to take that shot at me because Jason is taller than me. Dude, I was shocked. So we got there, we compared notes, we compared studios. He hasn't seen my studio. Hopefully that's coming up soon. We may even link up with one of his friends in Boise. We don't know. Jason has a good friend in Boise, Idaho, which is less than halfway for me, further than halfway. But who knows? Maybe we'll be able to have Jason in the studio and we'll go live from here. So check out Vegas Hard Bags and check out Major League Fab. And if you want to learn about how to use these lasers and do all that kind of work, Jason's one of the premier trainers in the world. He is now doing live classes that you can sign up with. And he's got cameras showing you everything that he does. So you're going to be able to see it hands-on. So it is like going to his studio and his shops and getting live training. So, okay. Well, again, thank you, Adam. Thank you, Jason, for joining us tonight in the chat. Thank you, every one of you, for joining us tonight in the chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. I think we're over 3,400 subscribers now. It's growing. Who knows? We might hit 4,000 before the end of the year. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching the videos, and it helps support the channel. We do have Super Chat available. We still are looking for a few more Super Chats to help pay for the Hyper Deck emulator called Playout B. Then I'm going to install that live in a Raspberry Pi, overriding my version 1 to version 2. And then we're going to demo how to use a Raspberry Pi to be like a HyperDeck to automate video playback. So that's pretty exciting. And there's a lot of cool new features in Playout B version 2. And so hopefully we'll be able to do a promo again next week to raise that last little bit of money. Because again, I'm involving you guys in what I do here in the live stream. So occasionally during the year, I'm going to offer, I'll do this if you guys will help support purchasing the software, because every time I demo something in my studio, usually it's something I paid for, except for when I go to studios like Jason's in Las Vegas, and then I get to demo his equipment, and he gets to talk about it, and you guys learn more cool stuff. So thank you guys so much. Akil says, what do you think? How long will HD be supported until 4K or 8K replaces HD, or will HD be around for a few more years? No doubt, high def is going to be around for a few more years. 4K TVs are coming down in price. 8K cameras are being released. Lumix released a camera today. So go check that out. There's lots of videos on that on the mighty web. Major League Fab site right here. This is Jason's site, and this is the still image of the video that he and I did live right here. And so when you get in here, you can subscribe to his channel. But there's also a really cool new update on Elgato's site for using OBS with overlays. So this is the new plugin. So there's a video that was released today. I'll put a link in description by Elgato. I watched it. I'm going to test this week. I may be doing a video on using these new overlays in OBS. I think they were designed mainly for gamers, but the fact that Elgato is linking these things together, making them more intuitive inside OBS, which makes OBS a lot faster for people that are using it to live stream or using it to show videos or play videos or do reaction videos. But I still think OBS is a great tool, and I want to talk about it here because I have a lot of clients that can use OBS with one camera, and it would be perfectly fine for them. So I'm constantly trying to learn more and more about OBS. So that's just one of the other things that has been released. I didn't have time to talk about tonight. So go over to Marketplace, Elgato, check out their new video. I'll put a link in the description tonight after we get off live, and you guys can check that out. So I've gone the longest tonight that I ever have. I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios. I'm not sure my outro macro is going to work. The intro video didn't. I don't know what happened to my links, but I'm going to try it right now. Until next time, stay safe. I'll see you next week, Tuesday at 4 p.m. for another live video. And if you haven't watched the other videos here on the channel, check them out. Until next time, again, be safe. I'm out.